Hi there, I'm Dark Shades, broadcasting out of the east of England into your homes, onto your phones, and into your space. Thank you so much for welcoming me and for being a part of my experience. You're welcome to put the thumbs up, the thumbs down, engage with my subscribers, share, or subscribe. And I wanted to talk about whether or not astrological signs can denote compatibility. Um, it's a tough one. It's a tough one because there's so many factors. They do claim that there's certain astrological signs that when they're put together, you're supposed to have an easier relationship. And I think that's what this is about. When you're thinking about compatibility and the astrological signs, it's whether or not you are compatible with that person anyway. Um, because it's about how you feel in that relationship. Does it feel easy or does it feel like you're going uphill? And they do say, I think, who are the compatible signs? I know that in some it says Libra and Aries. Don't know where I put it now. But there's certain signs that are supposed to be more compatible than others. And if you put them together, like air and fire. But it still depends very much on their experiences. It also depends on what they've been through. So it's fine saying that a Libra and Aries are a perfect match. But if they've had a hard life and they've been tormented and beaten up and goodness knows what else, they can't offer you what you need. Similarly, if you might have Libra and Aries, which are compatible in the Western horoscope, but in the Eastern horoscope, I'm a Libra, so I'd be compatible with a monkey. So if I now had a Aries who was a monkey, then I'd be all right probably. I'd be totally compatible. But what I'm saying is, it is all those different factors. And I don't think you can say just because it's going to be compatible. I can judge somebody by their star sign in a work situation. For example, if I have a new employer or employee that's a Virgo, I can say to myself, oh, they're going to be very pedantic. They're going to be on the ball. They're going to tick all the I's and cross all the T's. And so, from that perspective, I will say yes, they can be very, very good for audits and reporting and things like that. Whereas if I had somebody who was a Taurus, I would say, okay, they might resist some instructions. They might be a bit stubborn, but they're reliable and they're loyal. Certain traits within the astrological signs are consistent. You might say, oh, you can't tell somebody's sign. You can't tell what somebody's like just by their sign. This is just some basic characteristics. I can't say what they're going to do from the morning until the night, but there's certain basic characteristics in each person. And I'm going to run through them very quickly on a very, very superficial level. Okay, Capricorn, very introverted, slow, studious. They get to the top in a very methodical, slow, and steady way. Then we have Aquarius. They love people. They're always engaging in people. There doesn't have to be any intimate relationship, but they're interested in people. They're very, very curious people. A lot of curiosity, the Aquarius. Then we'd go to Pisces. Pisces, very temperamental. They're the water sign. Very moody. Sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down. And so that's Pisces. Pisces. And then you have Aries, quite fiery, quite, I don't want to use the word passionate. I would say they're, what is the word? My mum was Aries, my daughter's Aries, and my first and second husband was Aries. That's why I know that the astrological signs don't work. But what is it? They fall in love very quickly, usually, especially the men. They fall in love very quickly. They can fall out of love just as quick. But when they give everything. So that's all for Aries. Then we go from Aries to Taurus, I hope. Oh, I've said Taurus. No. Oh, but I said it in a different context. Taurus tend to be stubborn but loyal, reliable. Apparently good with their hands, but I wouldn't know that. Then we have Cancer. Oh, if you slight a Cancer, they go into their shell. Hard to get them back out. Very, very difficult to get them back out if you hurt them. Cancer, and then we have, I think, Leo. Leo, center of attention, boasty, another fire sign. Yeah, you know that they're around. You know that they're there. You sense their presence. Then you have Virgo. Virgo, I've never quite understood a Virgo. Never, that's the only sign I've never quite understood. They're supposed to have two sides to their character, the bad side and the good side, but I've never quite understood a Virgo. And I only know a couple of Virgos, and that's like in the work situation where you don't really see them for who they are. You only see them in a work context. And I do have a friend who's a Virgo, but I really can't make her out either. So and then you have Libras, who are me. Like our space, and we're quite creative, allegedly. We're meant to be indecisive, but I think that's when we're much younger. And yeah, I think that's all for Libra. We have Scorpio. Scorpios. I love Scorpios, actually. Scorpios, they're kind of very, they're very lively and real and excitable, you know, and they can be loyal too. And the only thing you hear about loyal is if you cross them, they'll make sure they get you back. And then you have Sagittarius. Sagittarius, they're supposed to be hard to pin down. They're very much, they say that they always remain like boys. You know, you'll hardly ever find a Sagittarius that's married, because they're always kind of zooming here, there, and everywhere. But they do marry. But you have to really grab hold of them, I would have thought. And then, we're back to Capricorn. So, yes, I've gone around the zodiac. So what I'm saying is, in doing all of that, it's just that each individual have their basic traits that are usually quite consistent, regardless. And whereas with the Eastern traits, it's a bit more difficult because it's based on different things. I know the dragon, which is what I am, and that's based on the year I'm born. They are revered, and the Chinese wanted all their children to be dragons. So there's something about a dragon, I'm not quite sure what it is, that is really, really good. That's the only way I can put it. But yeah, so I don't quite understand that. I've never really studied it. All I know is that if I wanted somebody to be 100% compatible with me, they'd either have to be an Aries or a Sagittarius, and they'd have to be a monkey under the Eastern horoscope. So in answer to that person's question, I think star signs meant to make it easier: air, free-spirited, listless, spontaneous, flexible; water, emotional, temperamental; fragile, fire, passionate, earth, stable, secure, stubborn, and loyal. I wonder why I've only got passionate there for fire. One word for fire. One verb. Okay, like I said, background must be taken into consideration. For some star signs, it's an uphill struggle. Some, it flows easier. All relationships can work. Regardless of the star sign, it's a decision of both. But you might find it exhausting. I mean, like anyone can have a relationship, but it's whether or not you want an easy relationship or a hard relationship. Personally, I prefer an easy one that I don't have to work so hard with, one where you're not having to always justify, rationalize, compromise, all of that kind of stuff. Yes, you have to do that in relationships, but some relationships you do it less. And that's why some people, they think that it's love that actually allows people to have that freedom in a relationship, that acceptance in a relationship where they're laughing and holding hands and doing all of that kind of stuff, and everything is so light and easy. But it's not necessarily love, it's actually the fact that those two people are so compatible. And love is just a part of that compatibility. You could even call them soulmates, because it's just so easy when those two people get together. And it doesn't happen all the time. When you meet somebody and it's just so easy, you've got to thank your lucky stars. Yeah, and I think that's all I'm going to say on that one. So yeah, somebody asked me, what was the question? The question was, can your star sign truly influence your relationships or people? Can relationships work regardless of your star sign? So I think I've answered that one. And that's all for now. Bye-bye.